Hi everybody, welcome. Thanks for joining me, 2023, who knew? Thanks for coming and joining me today. I'm so excited about the new season of Tuesdays with Grace. We have a lot of fun things planned, very exciting things. I've been working on a lot of new projects and just ready to dive in and get started. But first of all, I want to welcome you all. And we have Francis from Florida, we have Joe and Eileen. Welcome everybody. And let's talk about the new season of Tuesdays with Grace. We're going to change things up. We're going to work on a project a month. And with each project, we're going to take the 4 weeks and do it in consecutive segments, and we're going to finish the project. And I'm really excited to start out this January with a fun new little project that I've been working on, and it is the Maverick the Fox baby quilt. And here are the instructions, and you can download them. Just look at how cute that is. Maybe I'll show you that. There we go. Wait, I'll turn it this way. There we go. That's Maverick the Fox. Now I'll show you the quilt that I finished and how cute it is, and very excited for you to join me and work on your own quilt or whatever you're working on. We want you to be a part of our social media, and we want to be a part of your social media. So I have invited my good friend Devin to explain the social media aspect of what's going on and how we can all be a part of it. So this is Devin.
I've got to go down a little bit. Hey everybody. It's great to be here today. I'm really excited for our season premiere of Tuesdays with Grace. So I'm the events and production manager here at Grace Company. So I help make sure that all of you get to see all of us and we get to connect with you. But we really wanted to make Tuesdays with Grace this season more than ever a chance to be able to facilitate that connection. And we felt like the best way to be social was through social media. So we have a lot of different tools and helpful things that we're going to use to help you to make the most of the social media experience, to be able to connect with us, for us to connect with you. So first of all, we wanted to give you our handles, is what this is called when you see that @ sign. So at Grace Company Quilting is our handle for Instagram and our handle for Facebook. So if you're new to social media, we wanted to just take a second to explain how some of this works. But when you go to Facebook or you go to Instagram for the first time and you're looking up people that you want to follow, that you want to see the content that they're making, you're going to put in their handle. So you'll put in at Grace Company Quilting, and that's how you're going to find us. That's where you'll find our page, our site, and you'll be able to connect with us. Also, you can use our handle when you make your own posts. So as you're going through these different projects, as you have your own projects and you want to connect with other quilters like you and connect with us, you're going to post those things on Instagram, on Facebook, and you can tag us by using our handle. So just under your picture or whatever it is that you're posting, you just put an @ sign, Grace Company Quilting, and it will bring us up as a tag, and then we'll get a notification and we'll be like, oh, we're connecting with you. We see what you're doing. You see what we're doing. We're really excited about that. The other tools that we have for you this season are some hashtags. So they're a little bit different than a tag. You've probably seen this around, but excuse me, a hashtag, you're going to use kind of the pound key, the number sign, whatever you want to call it. And when you do a post, if you type this in exactly like this, so hashtag TWGQA, which stands for Tuesdays with Grace, questions and answers. When you put that hashtag on your post, you actually can click on that hashtag, it becomes a link, and you can see every single post that anybody in the world at any time has posted with that hashtag, which is really, really great. We want to try and pick unique hashtags so you're not just inundated with a million things. So that's why we put a very specific TWGQA, so that if you have any questions, you can tag us in a post using this hashtag TWGQA, write out your question. We will be checking this regularly. We'll click on that, and we'll be able to see all of your questions, and then we can take those and answer them in future Tuesdays with Grace segments. The other hashtag that we're going to be using is hashtag Tuesdays with Grace January. So this hashtag is going to be for each project. So like Karla said,
specifically
you're doing a different project every month, And so for the Fox baby quilt that we're doing this month, we want you to do this along with us. We want you to follow these steps each week. And as you are progressing through the project, take pictures of what you're doing, take videos. We want to see, we want to connect with you. We want to feature what it is that you're working on. And as you do that, when you post it, if you use that hashtag Tuesdays with Grace, January, Jan, Tuesdays with Grace, Jan, we'll be able to click on those and see everybody's progress. And the fun thing is, it's not just us who can see it. All of you can connect with each other. You can see who is participating in the Tuesdays with Grace January project. You can see what their progress is like. You can make friends. You can connect with people. It's such a great way for us to get to know everybody and see what everybody's doing. So we want you to use those 2 hashtags. We'll be reminding you about that throughout this show, throughout future shows. Like I said, we're going to be coming out with other resources to help you get comfortable and familiar with Instagram, with Facebook, with TikTok, things that your family members and friends might already be using, but you're like, oh, I'm not sure how to do it, but I want to be involved because it's such a great world.
You don't have to ask the grandkids or the kids.
Yeah, you can impress them at the next family reunion, the next dinner. You can be like, hey, have you seen this cool person I'm following on Instagram? And they'll be like, what? So we're going to help you out with that. We're here to make sure that you're making the most of your connections and quilter experience. But if you're still a little bit hesitant, if you're like, oh, this sounds great, I want to do it, I'm just a little bit nervous, you can always still do it the same way we've always made it available to you. You're welcome to email Karla directly, Karla@graceframe.com. Send her your pictures, send her your stories, send her any of your progress, and she will get that.
Questions.
She reads it all. I don't know how you have the time to do it, but she goes through all of it. She really, really cares about each of you, and she will be able to take those that you send to her, and we want to feature these throughout all of our different shows during every Tuesdays with Grace. We want to feature home-based quilters like you, share the things you're working on, share your stories, share your projects. So we really want to make this season about connection, and we've tried to come up with some tools that can help us to connect better with you. We're here to help answer any questions. We're here to help create that community that we love to be a part of and just help it grow even more. So please let us know if you do have any questions. But again, Karla will be reminding you throughout the show, throughout the episode. We'll be popping these hashtags up so that you can remember them. And we're just so excited to see your progress as we start our first project of the season. Okay, thanks so much, Karla.
A couple good questions on there. Karen, email me your question. I didn't quite understand it, but send it to me with some pictures, and I'd be more than happy to help you. You had a question there. You realized that you had prepped and printed something incorrectly. Oh, okay. Here it is. Okay. It says, what do you do when you realize you've prepped and pinned the directional backing on upside down to your top and batting? Have you already started quilting it, would be my question. And then if you haven't, if it bothers you that bad, it might be time to undo it so that you can live with it. There are 2 types of quilters. Quilters who can live with the little misdirectional problems that you run into every once in a while, and then others who they are very strict and they like things just so and just right. So you need to decide if you can live with it that way. If you can't, then let's get it fixed, and I'd be more than happy to help you get it fixed. Just send me some pictures, okay? And it's Karla with a K, Karla at graceframe.com. I'm here for you. I answer lots of questions. I work really hard to help you get the things done that you need to. And you also help me in return because you ask me some great questions and you get me thinking about things or different ways to interact with the frames and the machines. And so you really get me thinking of how I can help you even that much better. So email me and let's jump in. I just wanted to put a little plug in. Amanda added my little gnome on the roam. This is Jerome the gnome. Those instructions are on the post today. So make sure you download it and you make your little gnome because he's a fun little project to do. I did him with the couching foot. Notice his little beard and mustache. Oh, he turned out so cute. Look at his little legs, how he's sitting. Just fun. he's different than anybody out there. So yeah, make sure. And then he's got a little pouch so that you can put candy. I have dark chocolate Kit Kats in here if anybody's hungry. So let's get started. Now let me tell you about this Maverick baby quilt. I think I talked a little bit about it in December. My son has a really good friend. He plays video games with this friend all the time. And they've just connected, and his friend got married, and he was one of the best men at the wedding. And his friend is from Baltimore, I believe, and they just had a sweet little baby boy. And I wanted to do something for my son in behalf of him, and so I decided to make a baby quilt. Well, they named their little boy Maverick, and so whenever I'm doing gifts, like wedding gifts or baby gifts or anything like that, I kind of think about it and kind of do a little theme. And so I Googled Maverick or books. I love books. Children's books are awesome. And I found this children's book, and it's called Maverick, You're My Everything. And look, it's a little fox. And so that inspired this baby quilt. I thought, man, I need to get that book. And I found out he already had it. So I went and I found a little fox stuffed animal. And then I found this little, I've loved you since forever. It's another little fox baby book. So if you're planning on giving a cute little quilt, like this little Maverick fox baby quilt, make sure you add a little book and just kind of personalize it that much more. They're so much fun and they're so nice. And children's books are another one of my passions. Quilting is very expensive, but so are children's books. So I have a lot of them, and I just love them. So, and they just really add that little extra something to the gift. Okay, so let's jump in and talk about Maverick, the fox. Okay, so I found out that a boy fox is just a fox, okay? But a girl fox is a vixen. And so I wanted to kind of change it up. I wanted a boy quilt and a girl quilt. And I started out with doing printed fabrics. And this is the very first one. I haven't finished it yet. I think I'll just make this into like a little pillow, or you'll find it sitting here Tuesdays with Grace at the camp show that we do. And anyway, so this is the first one I started out with. Kind of cute. I did the prints for the cheeks and the body, and I did a kind of a circle print for the forehead and the chest hair, just to kind of change it up and make it a little different. You can see the eyes and the nose. And so that was what I first started out with. And then I thought, man, I need to simplify it a little bit because it got a little complicated. So I spent all night working on this cute little quilt, and this is how it turned out. So I added to it. It turned out really, really cute. You guys can't even see it. Hang on. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I put the little star in the corner, and then this is the little boy quilt. And notice how I've done the little gradiated, sorry, thanks Devin. Okay, so I did the different colors of gray and everything, and it turned out really cute and a lot of fun. So I hope you guys have a lot of fun working on it and making it. So let's jump in and let me explain how to make it. This week I'm going to talk to you about piecing it. Next week we're going to talk about free motion quilting, and then the week after that we're going to do some automation. So we're kind of going to learn a lot of ways to quilt the quilt, and just, you don't have to have the automation, but if you do, it's just another way to quilt your quilt. And so that's why we wanted to show you several different ways that you could add embellishments or quilt the quilt and just make it a lot of fun. So let me jump in. Let me fold up little Vixen here. All right. So your instructions, make sure that you pull them off the website and make sure you're registered. It's not, you don't have to pay to register, but register and make sure you get all your friends to register as well. Then get them involved in quilting. It's so much fun to quilt with a friend, and you know, you can chat back and forth, you can drink your sodas, you can just have a great time, eat your chips, eat your chocolate. All right, so I'm gonna open it up, and cute little Amanda, while I was gone, she worked on these instructions, okay? And she did a great job. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to work on the face. And I found that these flat-headed pins, these flower pins that we sell here at the Grace Company are awesome. I know we don't like to pin a lot and cut, but this little quilt has templates that you'll use. And as you're going through towards the back, you'll notice that I have a lot of templates that you'll cut out, you'll place on the fabric, and then cut them out and use. What I like about these pins is they allow you to cut out a little piece, like F3 here, that means face number 3, that's the cheek, okay? And you're gonna cut out 2 of these. I'm just gonna cut it out right here, and then I'm going to go and get my dark pink, because I'm going to do the little girl quilt. I've done the boy quilt, now I'm going to do the girl. And so I'm just going to cut this out and show you how nice these pins are. And I will send the first 3 people that send me a project that they're working on to Karla with a K, K-A-R-L-A, at graceframe.com, or if you'll do a hashtag and you will hashtag me, Grace Quilting. Is it Grace Company Quilting? Okay, it's Grace Company Quilting, and it's at Grace Company Quilting. If you will hashtag, I will send the first 3 people a set of these pins because they're awesome. Okay, so what you're going to do, and I'm using this darker pink here, and I want to, okay, and don't judge me if I waste a little bit more fabric than usual, okay? I'm just trying to make this quick and easy. So I'm just going to fold this over. And what I like about these pins is that I can use my ruler with them. And I can just place this down like this and then just pin it. And then I can start cutting it out. So I'm going to put it over just a little bit. And I'm going to hold it down. You don't have to hold it, pin it too much, but it's just really nice. And I wanted to show you how nice these work. Now, it's nice to have a smaller ruler for these smaller projects, but I'm just going to use the square rule and my 6.5 by 24.5 inch ruler. I love these square rulers. They make squaring up so nice. And this is the 9.5 inch ruler. So what I'm going to do is, can you see that right there? Notice how I left a little bit excess. I'm just going to use my seam allowance line and line it up. And then I'm going to get my rotary cutter here. And notice I don't have my guide on. If you need to use your guide, if you want to. I didn't. I'm just going to cut right there. And then I'm just going to turn it and keep cutting. And see how nice that is with the pins? It just allows you, and the holes in the rulers, if you don't have our rulers, you really need to try them because they make the world of difference when you're cutting. It's easy to see the markings and it's easy to line up. So that's all I'm doing. See, this side has that extra 1/2 inch, so I don't want to use this side. So just be aware and turn it, and then you'll just line it up and cut. And I cut 2 at a time. Okay, now that I've cut it out, all right, I'm going to cut the little ends off because cute little Amanda, she has the ends cut off, just like that, and I'm just going to go around, line it up, and cut them off. Now, another accessory, or not really an accessory, but an item that's really nice for cutting and helping to keep your ruler intact and nice and straight as you're positioning it onto your fabric are your true grips. Make sure that you get your true grips. What's nice about the true grips is they're transparent. So they are not colored, so they're going to block the view of your lines, because we know how important the markings are to our cutting and our accuracy in cutting. So make sure that you get several packages of these true grips. All right, and then if you'll use the hashtag, I will send you out a couple of packages of true grips, and the first 3 people that hashtag us at it's Tuesdays, TW, put that one up with the question and answer, okay? It's hashtag, and that's the # TWGQA to ask a question. I want you to ask me a question. Don't ask me how I'm doing. I just turned a year older, and not so much fun. But ask me another question, okay? So anyway, so here I have my F3 done, and I have my 2 cheeks done. Let's talk about the little nose here. Okay, the nose is a little different, so make sure you cut out the nose, and this, I've already cut it out. That's the template for the nose. And then for the nose, you're gonna cut out 2 squares. You're gonna cut them out 2 inches by 2 inch squares. So I'm going to sew the first side to it, and we're going to use this edge here. So notice how I folded it down just a little bit. I don't know, can you see that? It's just about 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to line that up right there on the edge. I'm going to line it up right here. And then I'm going to sit down here, and I'm going to just sew right down here, 1/4 of an inch. All right? I don't really need to do this, but all right. And I'm going to show you on this one right here what I did. Okay. So I did that on this one here. So I sewed along here, and then I went and I opened it up and opened up on the other side as well. So let me get my, okay, let me make sure. All right. Love that cutter. All right, so there is my first one. Notice how I turned it so that the fold is right here. Now I'm going to fold it over. I'm going to crease it down. Now I'm going to do my other side. And I want to make sure that I turn it so that the fold is on the inside. There we go. And I want to make sure that I position it as I'm sewing so it's right across from this one, because I don't want it down too low so it looks lopsided. I want it to be positioned just right, and I want the nose to look just like a cute little fox nose, little wet fox nose. That's what we want. All right, so now I'm going to just sew that other side, and then after I'm done sewing, you could cut it off, but you're not going to cut it yet, okay? All right. All right, so the nose is done. That was easy. You guys, this little quilt is so easy. I've already made all the mistakes. You guys don't need to make any mistakes at all. I spent hours and hours trying to figure this out, unpicking, and yeah, it's already been done. So you don't need to worry about it. I've already unpicked for each and every one of you several times. So yeah, let's get in and just get this done. Okay, so now that the nose is done, let's work on the eyes. So let's cut out the eye template and just add the little piece to make the little black eyes. And that's really easy. You just find that little template right here, and it's right here. It's F2. We're just going to cut it out, and we're going to cut it out of the white. And then we're going to add on this side right here, we're going to add a 2 by 2 inch block, and then just sew it together really quick, and then you have the 2 eyes done. Very easy, very quick, and that's all you're going to do is you're going to keep following the instructions all the way through it. Now, The only challenging part that I found, and I already figured it out, were the ears. Who knew that the ears were going to be my Achilles heel? Because man, they were a challenge, and finally I figured out how to do them, and I'm going to show you really quick. Let me just hurry and pin and cut this out. I'm going to make my son a little him one as well, and I'm just going to use red prints. He's kind of got strawberry blonde hair, so I thought it'd be fun, and I'll show you that on a future week so that you can see all the little things I'm working on. I'm so excited about working on the projects with you and having you become more involved in us working together, because I just need some friends. And so you guys are, if you're up to be my friend, I would love it. Notice how I had to turn it because on the one side it's that 2-inch. And I'll just find that this is how I work at home. A little chaotic and a little messy, but I clean everything up, I promise that. All right. And that one I didn't get down hard enough. Can you guys see what I'm doing? All right. And let me just turn it so I can finish cutting it. And then I just want to talk to you about the assembly of the block and picking out your colors and things like that. You guys all know what to do. You guys are the expert quilters. I just like designing. All right, notice how I have cut everything off. Now I'm just going to cut my little ends. This time I'm just using my scissors to cut. Okay, and then I already have my squares cut right here for them, and all you're going to do is just put your squares on and sew across. Easy peasy, just sew across and then you have your eyes. Okay, let's talk about assembling the face and the ears. Okay, we gave you a template for this gray piece right here. Make sure you're cutting out this gray piece, all right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to, no, I didn't give you a template. This is, I can't remember, it's a 10.5 by 4-inch rectangle. That's what it is. And then we cut out a 4 by 4-inch square, blue square. I put right sides together and I cut. All right, so that gave me this little seam piece right here and right here. Then I cut out a 3.5 by 3.5-inch black square. I did the same thing, right sides together. I sewed across right here, and then I opened it up and I cut. So notice that I have 2 cuts right here from the first one and right here from the second one. Okay, that didn't make it wide enough, so I added right here a 3/4 of an inch strip right here on the edge, and that made the ears. So as you're sewing, this is the one that we gave you a template for, okay? We started out not doing a template, but you need a template for it because you need to get these angles correct, okay? So how you're going to sew them up, you are going to follow the instructions just like they tell you. Where are my instructions now? Oh, here they are, okay. So you're just gonna follow the instructions and go through them one by one, and you're going to do your nose, and then you're going to do your eyes, and then you're going to sew these 2 strips on. So you're going to sew your eyes to your nose, and then you're going, wait, sorry, I'm wrong. You're going to sew this little strip right here to the eye on each side. This little strip to this eye on each side. Then you're going to take these 2 and sew them to the nose, and then you're going to sew one of the cheeks in place. All right, after that's done, you have kind of a wonky triangle. Notice That's what you're going to have, is a wonky triangle. Then you're going to sew this little light blue forehead to this other cheek. Then all you have to do is sew this to this. And you can see the seam going across. Easy, and then you're going to sew the ears on. And your head's done. That's all you have to do. And then for the body, you're just going to follow the instructions the same way. You're going to piece it together and cut it to the correct size. See, this is the little chest part, and the tail's the same way. Then for the little strips, they're very easy. Amanda made them very uniform, and the star is so easy to do. So you won't have any problems putting this together. You won't break any nails, and you won't be swearing either. So that's a good thing for the new year. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go and do this. Make sure that you start working on these projects. I really wanna see what you're doing and what you're working on. I can't wait to see your personalities in the quilts that are to come. I just love you and appreciate all you, and hope that you will just bring all your friends and join me for a new year with Tuesdays with Grace, because I'm really looking forward to it. And make sure that if you have any questions about as you're piecing or quilting or anything like that, hashtag TWGQA to ask me questions, or just hashtag me at TWGJan to post in your progress, because we want to see it. And we'll see you next week. Make sure that you come prepared, because it's free motion quilting next week. I'm going to show you a lot of different ways. We're going to use we're going to talk about channel locks. I don't know if we're going to use them. We're going to talk about lasers and how we could use them to, and you know, making our own stencils for free motion quilting. God, I've got lots of ideas and lots of things to show you and teach you, and I hope that you will inspire me, because I get a lot of great questions out there. So thank you, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.